What's up, everybody? This is Roberto Lorenzo Ferguson. Robert Ferguson. I am your nutritionist, and I'm a guy who shares because I care. And today, we're going to talk about oils, cooking oils. And the reason why we're going to talk about these oils is because early this morning when I woke up, a very dear friend of mine sent me a link to something that was on today.com. And they were very bold. They made the statement of what is the healthiest oil to cook with and what is the most unhealthy oil to cook with. And when I read it, it just blew my mind. It really did. It blew my mind. And it saddened me because we live in a world where many people who read this or saw it on TV will go with those recommendations. And they will just assume because it's on TV or that it's on a reputable website that it must be real. Well, what they recommend is horrible. It's frightening. And so I'm just going to walk you guys through it step by step. And my goal is that you learn some things from it. And I want you to know that everything that I am going to share, I have a ton of data to support my recommendations. And I'm saying that because they're opposing to what these registered dietitians are recommending on this very popular site. And my goal is to bring clarity to the best and worst cooking oils. And hopefully you believe me. And if not, then we'll make some of the data available so that you can have the clarity to know that whatever we put out there, we've done our due diligence. And our goal is just to give you the information so that you are informed and we actually care. Now, for those of you who are new, I want to say thank you for being here, and please share, like, subscribe. And for those of you who feel you already know, stick with me, because some of what I'm going to share may be surprising to you, because I see a lot of personal trainers, a lot of local nutritionists and people I meet here and there, and a lot of health advocates and people post things on TV and their websites and social media. And they are so far off from the truth, and they're influencing people to jump on board and do what they're doing. So it'll be interesting. Now, for those of you who are catching me, say hi, like, subscribe, make a comment. And before I dive in, because I was ready to dive in. I did a video a couple days ago. I wasn't on camera, so it's just the audio version. And I shared information about how some of us are deficient in certain nutrients. And because we're deficient, it's creating problems. And when I say problems, like problems that you may be experiencing right now, whether it's, let's say, your nails are brittle, your hair is starting to thin, maybe you have dry eye, you feel inflamed, right? You're living with a lot of inflammation. And by getting this nutrient and an adequate amount of this nutrient, that may be your solution. Not another prescription, not another medication. So I made the link available. You can listen to it at your convenience. One of the things I do when I'm driving, my kids see me do this all the time when they don't want to control the radio or the music, is I'll have something I want to listen to on YouTube, and I just hit it on Bluetooth, and I listen to it while I'm driving. I'm always doing that unless they want it. And if I'm by myself, I'm always listening to a seminar or something that I wanted to listen to on YouTube, or maybe I'm washing dishes, or maybe go to the hot tub, whatever it may be, where I can have a moment of silence where I can kind of listen. That's when I do it. So that link is there. So take a look at it. All right. What's up, you guys? What's up, Linda? Now, this is going to be interesting, you guys. So I have the article. I printed it out. And the title of this article is, "This is the #1 healthiest cooking oil, according to dietitians." Okay, that got my attention. But before I dive in and walk through this, let me ask you a question. What do you think they said is the most unhealthy oil to cook with? Let's start there. Let's start there. What do you think is the most unhealthy oil? And then we'll go through their statements about healthy. Like, what is the oil that they say you should never cook with? If you want to be healthy, these dietitians on today are saying, do not cook with this certain oil. What do you think that oil is? Okay, drum roll. Cindy, Darlene, help me out. What is the oil? If you went to these dietitians or if you were at home, I know a lot of you guys are aware of these things, but many people don't know. They're saying what the worst oil to cook with. Now, let me say up front, I do not agree with them. They are 1,000% incorrect. 1,000%. But dietitians, right, and sometimes clinical nutritionists, they become indoctrinated and they are teaching what the government or the guidelines are telling them they must teach. And it's so much hypocrisy around this article. That part was just mind-blowing. Okay. So someone says the most unhealthy. So Marie says vegetable oil. Good guess. Then she comes back and says canola oil. Linda says the worst oil, her guess, and it's not Linda's guess, but she's saying what these dietitians are recommending. They said the worst oil is extra virgin olive oil. They said coconut oil. They said coconut oil is the worst oil that you can cook with. Okay. Let's see, maybe I can show it to you. I wish I had some slides, but the worst oil in the title, you can see all my little highlighted stuff, but it says, what is the least healthy? So all right, that's how this is proper. What is the least healthy cooking oil? And it says in this line, I'm gonna read it. It says the least healthy cooking oil is coconut oil. That is not true. Now, the reason why they say that coconut oil is the worst is the same as they would tell you not to cook with butter. And that's because saturated fat has been demonized for years. And their main source is the American Heart Association. They say stay away from saturated fat. Now, the same organizations are saying don't cook an egg in butter, but they also are saying that Lucky Charms is a healthy breakfast. Interesting. Now, this is the same organizations that said that we should stop eating saturated fat, and they replace butter with margarine and trans fatty acids, which we know as of June 18th, 2018, after a lawsuit that went up against the FDA, trans fats have been removed from the food supply. But for years, they told us to eat trans fats. And it's estimated that over 90,000 people, 90,000 people just in the United States died prematurely because of their recommendations of eating foods that had trans fatty acids in it. But now those trans fats are gone. That's the first thing. It's like, okay, you want us to believe you after you have demonstrated again and again and again and again that what you recommend, you later change your mind and you've hurt people. Again, it blows my mind. It really does. Okay, so let's work through this and let's go into what they believe is the healthiest cooking oil. So I made little highlights and I'm just going to walk us through it. Okay, you can see here it says, is cooking with oil healthy? So that's the first thing. And they're saying yes. And again, all of this is supported by the American Heart Association, which has been around for a long time. And if you didn't know this, the thing that really helped the American Heart Association really take off, and to this day, they bring in more money, more funding than any other nonprofit existing in America. A company called Procter & Gamble gave them what was the equivalent of, like today, $17 million to get started. And I believe this was around 1948. They started, I think, 1924. Procter and Gamble is responsible for the first trans fat that was put into foods in a big way with a product called Crisco. Interesting. And that was in 1911. And when 1948 came about, they were like, let's help out this organization. And so the American Heart Association was in their pocket, or they were in their pocket since that time. And when they demonized saturated fat, yeah, use Crisco. That was pushed. But we know that that's bad. Okay. So let's read through it. So they first talk about, is cooking with oil healthy? Yeah, it is. And then as we go forward, let me just jump back. They try to build up a case. And then it says the experts recommend opting for cooking oils from non-tropical fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Those would be the healthier choices. Yep, you heard me right. They are recommending that people cook with seed oils. You can't even make this stuff up. It's mind-blowing. And let me show you. And then, it really just gets really confusing because on this page right here, they start off with bottom line. It says, bottom line, when choosing between cooking oils at the grocery store, the experts, whoever these experts are, recommend picking oils that are low in saturated fat, non-tropical. That would include palm oil. You go to Nigeria, they use palm oil. Palm oil is a pretty stable oil. And the things that are unrefined. Okay. That part is really interesting. Because as they start to talk about the best oils, some of what they're saying here is not even possible. And then it goes into like which oil is the best for heating. Like you hear people talk about smoke temperature. That's another interesting one because according to toxicology reports around the world, the most stable oil, if you're going to saute, like to cook with, and I'm not talking about deep fried because this oil wouldn't work. It doesn't taste good. But the number one oil when it comes to smoke temperature and how stable it is extra virgin olive oil. I have all the toxicology reports. It's not avocado oil, you guys. It's not all these other oils. And you'll hear people say that they're wrong. They cannot show you toxicology reports. And right now, most avocado oil, according to Davis University, over 80% of them are rancid. And if they're not rancid, then they're adulterated, meaning it's not even avocado oil. It's probably soybean oil or some other safflower oil. Extra virgin olive oil. Not an olive oil that says cold press. You must see the words extra virgin and look at the words. I was at a doctor's house, this lady's house, not too long ago. And I said, hey, is that extra virgin olive oil? She goes, oh, yeah, that's the only thing I would use. And it was out on the open and she had a sunlight. I was like, well, do you know it's not good to have your extra virgin olive oil have that much light on it consistently? That makes it go bad. That messes everything up. That's what I was thinking in my head. And I said, well, can I see the bottle? She brought the bottle over. It did not say extra virgin olive oil. It said extra flavor. She saw extra and just assumed, and I could tell because it was just too light and it was in a plastic bottle. I'm like, and more they're starting to find plastics in oils, you guys. It's getting crazy. But these people are saying that when it comes to smoke temperature, when it comes to flavor, you want to use things like grapeseed oil, vegetable oils, seed oils. They literally say in this article, soybean oil. Unbelievable. See, a lot of when we say seed oils, they're very high in linoleic acid. What makes them bad? Well, we know that there is a strong link to various types of cancer. We know that it causes inflammation in the body. It's one of the precursors for why so many people are experiencing insulin resistance and making it difficult for them to lose weight. And all of these seed oils fall into this category of omega-6. oils, which are essential, but we're consuming too many of them. And when you have an abundance of them, your body can't even, has a very tough time making omega-3 oils, which helps bring down inflammation. And even if you were eating fish every day, if you have an abundance of omega-6 in your body on a cellular level, enzymes are competing, and the abundance of omega-6 makes it where omega-3 is not going to be able to do what it does. Therefore, your brain's not going to get the proper amount of what they call DHA, or your body EPA, and you're going to be in a situation where you're inflamed and all these things start to show up, like conditions that you don't want to be dealing with. And you're trying to figure out what am I doing wrong? And a lot of it is based on recommendations like this. I mean, this is absolutely horrible. I mean, it blows my mind. And I don't even know what to say. I really don't, except for just to like encourage you guys to stay with me, connect with me, give us a chance to educate you so that you're in a position to win. I mean, imagine all these people who would read this and don't know anything else, and they're using grapeseed oil and sunflower oil, and they're like, I'm being healthy. I read this on Today, and it said that this is a healthy oil. And it's that oil that's causing a lot of their inflammation issues. Man. I mean, when I saw this, I was stumped. I was like, man, I don't even know what to say. And it almost discourages you, because when people have such a big platform, but they put out information like this that is so false that it's criminal. It's criminal. Anyway, I want to see what you guys think, because this just blows my mind. Okay, so someone in one of our private groups says not cold pressed olive oil. Okay, listen. When you see a product like oils, they put things on the bottle, the label, to get you to buy it. If it says extra virgin olive oil, it cannot be extra virgin unless it's cold pressed. That's number one. Number two, if it does not say extra virgin, but it says cold press, that means there's a percentage of the oil that is cold press. So that's it's mixed with a whole bunch of other oils that is not. So the key word is extra virgin olive oil. Then it encompasses all the things that you want, right? And when it's extra virgin olive oil, you're getting those antioxidants, you're getting those polyphenols, all these things that we talk about is for like how it benefits you. So extra virgin, if you don't see extra virgin, because I'm seeing this a lot with avocado oil. People will buy avocado oil. Can I have my clients do this? I say, hey, send me a picture of it. They say, yeah, I got an avocado oil. Send me a picture of it, the front and the back. And when I get it, I don't see extra virgin olive oil. It says cold press, pure oil, all the words except extra virgin, because if it says extra virgin, it automatically means it's cold press. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, let me know. Now, fruit oils, I'm okay with. Even palm oil, they're more stable oils. If you're going to deep fry something like a turkey, then I would go with peanut oil. Now, it has some of the linoleic acid in it, but it's not much. And oftentimes it is refined. And when you're going to like deep fry something, you want refined so it can handle it. You wouldn't want to use extra virgin olive oil because it'll turn it rancid. And I'm telling you, the taste is not there. But if you're going to saute or do anything like that, like sauteing some vegetables or, tossing around some meat, I'm sticking with extra virgin olive oil, and I use butter. Butter is also saturated fat, but it's stable. Now, with the introduction to a lot of these seed oils that these guys are recommending, you see the increase of the consumption of the seed oils. You also see heart disease going up. You see diabetes going up. You see obesity going up, all parallel with the increased consumption of seed oils. The same thing they're recommending people consume is part of the problem. It's almost like somebody wants you to be, or put it this way, they don't want you to be as healthy as you could be. They want you to remain a little sick. It's pretty spooky when you think about it, because it doesn't make any sense. Like none. But yet, there it is in print. And it is in alignment with what is preached and encouraged when it comes to the U.S. dietary guidelines. Now, I know a lot about the U.S. dietary guidelines because of the work that I do. And so our methodology, we've been able to give people what's going to help them, but yet remain in compliance with the U.S. dietary guidelines because of the work I want to do within the healthcare system. That was no easy task. So I get it. You got to understand how to work. Otherwise, like with the system, you can't really do the work. And when it goes back to soybean oil, that is the number one consumed edible oil in the world right now. And here's something to know about soybean oil. And these guys are saying to go buy it and cook with it. Over in China, they've done a study, and it's conclusive. It's very clear that they're cutting back on cooking with soybean oil because soybean oil, inhaling it as you cook, is the second leading cause for lung cancer. Second to secondhand smoke. Direct smoking, you're least likely to get lung cancer from direct smoking compared to inhaling the soybean oil that you cook with. These seed oils are a disaster, and people don't even know about it. That's why I'm always reminding myself to share with you the importance of being informed. So I'm working on we're updating our white papers, and our white paper is going to include all of this. And my new book that will come out is going to include all of this. A lot of data. But you got to give people, I want people to at least be given the opportunity to be informed, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, let me see. Hey, what's up there, Leaf and Leslie? They said, and butter tastes amazing. Okay, I'm with you on that one. So anyway, I just felt compelled to at least say something about this article. It's mind-blowing. It's like they put it right out in front of you. You know how many people are totally behind coconut oil? It's kind of like anti-establishment. So the establishment is saying don't eat it. That's coconut oil. And the Mercolovs and the all these other doctors that I respect, nutritionists, people who are out there really against seed oils, I'm with them. And if you want some coconut oil, hey, go for it. I mean, coconut oil, yes, it's high in saturated fat, but it's also high in medium chain triglycerides, which we know the body prefers to burn as energy. It's different, but they're not sharing that part. And that's the injustice. Well, that's part of the injustice that I continue to see. Anyway, any other questions while you guys got me? And if you didn't listen to my audio that I made available, I strongly recommend you listen to it, because we are on to something right now. And I'm very excited about it because it's helping people. It is helping people. Wait till you see over the next 3 to 4 months the testimonials of people that have reached out to me and what is happening with them. Every day I'm hearing something else. Every day. And when I say I'm hearing something else, I'm talking about positive things. So just listen to it with an open mind. And I believe it'll give you some ideas, and reach out to me. So you can contact me through the links when you go to that video, as well as my assistant, Lori at Diet Free Life. Or if you have my email, reach out to me directly at Robert at Diet Free Life. So, all right. Today is my baby girl's birthday. She turned 14. She went to cheer competition, so I don't get to spend the night with her tonight. And but I went and saw her. I had to see my baby. I got her some balloons, and she was all smiles. So I'll be talking to her later, and that's what I'm doing tonight. Talking to her. Other than that, I will just be watching something tonight. I'm gonna have a daddy alone night tonight. No kids, and I'm just gonna chill, like the song. Just chill. Let's settle down. Okay. Anyway, I talk too much. Thank you. Let's call this Fat Loss Friday. I'm Robert Ferguson. If you have not been to our YouTube channel, make sure you go there and make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that anytime we upload anything, you're at least notified and you can listen to it when you want. And trust me, I'll be doing more on this and sharing like the hardcore concrete data. A lot of the studies that we are aware of that they obviously aren't aware of when they wrote this article. And that'll help you make wise decisions that's looking out for your best interest. And we don't want to just be the kind of people that just, I don't want you just to listen to me and just, I mean, those who know me, you know my work and you've followed me for a long time, you know I've built up a trust with you, right? People who don't know me, the goal is to get to know me, but in the meantime, I know it's part of my responsibility to make these studies that I'm aware of available to you so you can not just take my word for it, but you can go and look at the studies for yourself. Okay. But for me, in closing, extra virgin olive oil is a good one. Make sure it's in glass when possible. Keep it in a dark space. Always look at the expiration date. And if you can get organic, that's always best. And smell it. Don't just cook with it. Just smell it because you'll know when it's rancid. And look at it. You know what I mean? Because you just never know what they're putting in some of this food that we're buying. You got to be on top of it. Otherwise, you know, you'll just assume it's good and you may be taking in something into your body that's more harming than it is providing good. And I'm talking about something that can contribute to your health. That's always best instead of taking in something that takes away from our health. All right. So thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I always show these things to my babies and I appreciate it. So until the next one, I'm Roberto Ferguson. I'll be up sometime on Saturday and Sunday. So I'll see you then. And